I never thought I'd be the person to walk out without yelling, without arguing, without trying to fight for someone I loved. But that night changed everything. It was a Friday evening, a small get-together at our place. Her friends had come over. Nothing fancy, just wine and snacks, laughter spilling through the living room. I was standing near the kitchen counter, fixing myself a drink, trying to keep my nerves calm. Something felt off, though. I couldn't explain it at first. The way she kept glancing at the group, whispering and giggling, a tone of mischief in her voice. Then I heard it. A dare. Quiet, subtle, whispered so I wouldn't catch it at first. "I dare you to push him," one of her friends said. I froze. My mind couldn't process it immediately. "Push me? What do you mean?" she whispered back, laughing softly. I looked up just in time to see her step toward me and shove me lightly. "Playful," she said, but it was deliberate. Not a brush or a tap, a push. I caught myself against the counter. My hands were steady, my face calm, but inside my chest tightened. "Really?" I asked quietly. Her friends laughed. She laughed. The sound was hollow, teasing, celebratory. She looked at me, smirking like it was a joke, like she was proud of herself for playing along. I stepped back, deliberately, away from her, away from them. My hands remained in my pockets. My voice was quiet, but firm. "That's enough." She rolled her eyes. "Oh, don't be dramatic. It was just a dare." I shook my head. "No, not just a dare. You deliberately humiliated me in my own home, in front of your friends, to amuse them. That's not harmless. That's disrespectful." Her smirk faltered. She opened her mouth, then closed it. I could see the gears turning, the attempt to twist this back on me somehow. "You're overreacting. It's not a big deal." I shook my head again. "It is a big deal, because it's the culmination of everything I've ignored, tolerated, and excused for years. The late nights, the secretive phone calls, the subtle disregard for my feelings. I've been patient. I've given you chances. But this is too far." Her friends laughed nervously now, sensing the shift, sensing that the playful game had ended. She tried to brush it off, tried to make a joke, but I wasn't listening. I couldn't. I walked to the door. My coat was already draped over my arm. She followed, her voice rising, pleading, trying to convince me to stay, to forgive, to explain. I stopped at the threshold. My hands gripped the doorframe. My heart was racing, but my mind was clear. "I'm done," I said. "I've tolerated enough disrespect. I've tolerated enough betrayal. I'm leaving before this escalates further." She gasped. "You're really going to leave over a stupid push?" I turned fully toward her. "Not a push. Your choice. Your actions. Your willingness to humiliate me for entertainment. That's why I'm leaving. Not just tonight, but from this pattern, from this disrespect, from this marriage if it continues like this." Her friends tried to intervene, tried to explain it as a joke, as harmless fun, but I didn't care. I walked out the door, keys in hand, phone in pocket. I didn't yell. I didn't slam the door. I just left. The next days were a blur of clarity. I realized how often I had compromised myself, ignored my instincts, excused behavior that was hurtful. The push that night wasn't just a dare, it was a symbol of the lack of respect, of the disregard for my feelings, of the betrayal that had been growing quietly under the surface. She called, texted, and showed up at my apartment. "It was a joke. You're taking this too seriously," she said, desperation creeping into her voice. I didn't reply at first. I let her words hang in the empty apartment. I let myself feel the calm that comes when you finally choose yourself over someone who continually undermines you. When I finally responded, I was clear. It wasn't just a joke. It was the last straw. I won't be treated like a toy, like a punchline, like someone whose trust and dignity can be played with. I'm not coming back to that. Weeks later, the divorce process began quietly. She tried to manipulate, tried to guilt, tried to make me feel responsible for ending things. But I had learned something essential. Betrayal, humiliation, and disregard aren't negotiable. And sometimes, love isn't enough to keep you in a situation that eats at your self-respect every day. Now, months later, I live alone. I still think about that night sometimes, not with bitterness, but with gratitude. It forced me to see clearly what I had tolerated for far too long, what I deserved, and the strength I hadn't fully recognized in myself. I didn't yell. I didn't plead. I didn't let her convince me that her actions weren't deliberate. I left. And in leaving, I reclaimed my life, my dignity, and my peace of mind. That push wasn't just a prank. It was a wake-up call, and I answered it.